my computer, so I don't have my information in front of me. I don't know what kind of a show it's going to be because, as I said, I don't have my information in front of me. I'm just going to go on the things I know. There will be no music. I will talk about the kids. There will be no pledge, or I can do the pledge, but I'd have to stand up to do it, and that. I think I'm just going to go and see what we can do right now as far as getting things done. So we'll do the best we can do, and that's all I can tell you. I can't do anything else. But I see we have 9 people on, but I don't see anybody in the chat. There's Janet. Janet, if you heard me, I'm on the phone. Can't get on my computer, so I'm just going to try to talk a little bit. I want to talk to the kids. I had a lot tonight about the beds, and it really is disappointing to me because I put a lot of effort into tonight's show myself personally. Hi, Jeffrey. Hi, Janet. Hi, Susie Q. So we're just going to go over some things that I remembered. That's the best I can do. As I said, I'm using the phone, so I can't read the information that I had for tonight. So with that being said, Jimmy, I had a lot of information tonight for the special beds. I can remember some of it, and I'll talk about it in a few minutes. Patriot 11, Patriot Super Gymnast, Patriot 7, Patriot Small Hank, Patriot Little Monkey, and Patriot Kira. 3 of yous I spent most of the day with. The other 2 I just seen recently. Then we have Patriot Little Leona and Leilana. And these kids are growing like weeds. We have Boogie, Boogs, Boogaloo, and Boogaroo with John. And we have Patriot Princess, our queen. And Patriot Hunter, her very handsome brother, along with Patriot Karate Kid and Patriot Wyatt Earp. For the kids, guys, I hope you're getting out where you're living. I hope you're getting weather right now like we got in Illinois the last couple of days. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. We've been in the 70s the last couple of days. It was so nice yesterday. Liam got with a couple of his friends and went down to the ball diamond, and they practiced hitting. Boy, we got a lot of work to do there, Jana. A lot of work. But it's early, and his coach this year happened to swing by and was very pleased to see some kids out there. And he told him, he says, I'm not going to say it's a practice because we truthfully shouldn't be practicing yet. But if Sunday is nice weather around 2 o'clock, I might just be down here at the park for an hour, maybe 2. And I thought, well, if that's the case, I just might show up over there for an hour or maybe 2. I was hoping to be watching the Big Ten Championship, Illinois playing in it, but they're getting their asses kicked tonight. Excuse me, kids, I shouldn't have said it. They're getting their rear ends obliterated tonight. And it is what it is. Some nights you come out and you're the best team in the Big Ten. Some nights you come out and you're not a team at all. And that's how they come out tonight. That plus the fact one of our best players who the other team last night couldn't stop at all. Boom, boom. He's sitting on a bench with 2 fouls. It's just amazing when you play certain teams that have certain coaches, the calls. But I'm not going to, whether this guy is on the bench or not, Illinois is a good team and should have been able to withhold losing that guy until he could come back and play in the second half. And then they should win the game. And they're a better team than this team, but not the way they played tonight. But you're starting 3 freshmen, a sophomore, and a junior. And the freshmen tonight were playing like freshmen in a big game. And Jana, you of all people, hi, Margaret, good to see you. I'm cutting out really bad. Well, at least, Margaret, the only thing I can say is at least I'm on and trying to get through. I have no doubt I'm cutting out because I'm on my phone. We are having some really, really bad difficulties here, so I'm just doing the best I can. It's not going to be a very long video, and that. Now, Margaret, you and Patriot Diane with 2 N's, you've asked me if I could Maybe call a place in Florida called Mar-a-Lago. You've even sent me some information. I'm looking into that, but I'm also playing another avenue that I'll share with you later. I'm becoming very, very good friends with someone very, very special to our wonderful, wonderful president. So it's funny, guys, as I wrap it up with the kids, just know this, that you are the foundation of this particular show. If I wasn't able to talk to you kids, if we weren't here for your futures, I wouldn't even be doing a show. So kids, we love you. Stick with us. This show is not meant for kids, but under the discretion of their parents, grandparents, or legal guardians, they can watch. I do not have to say anything about the music played tonight because I will not be playing music. So there we go. Now, let's talk. Last night, Bruce comes on, and Bruce was very explicit about talking about he's one of the few truthers to do shows like this that never took any money. If you have a question, he tries to answer them. But see, here's the whole thing. Bruce doesn't have a chat room. Bruce doesn't give you a personal email so you can email him to get answers. So that was just a cover-up. Bruce has made a lot of money. Maybe he's made it through Sue. Maybe he's made it through Bob. I could have done the same thing, guys. I have been a lifelong networker. I mean, me and Ron made money in network marketing. And today, since the internet has taken over network marketing, it's really tough to do it because it's all about who can cheat who. But it used to be when I was young, network marketers meant something. When you can show somebody how to take and just join a company and share it with a few friends who share it with a few friends. And if you get lucky and really get going, you can make hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars a year. But then it went to the internet and right down. I can remember when I got going after I got married. My ex-wife looked at me and says, "Do you want to go to an opportunity meeting tonight?" I mean, that's like asking someone who their favorite food is real good crispy fried chicken, if they like chicken. I said, "Sure, I'll go with you." We go to her sister's house, and boy, this tall guy with a disposition like me, always smiling, always laughing, very, very pretty wife show up to do this meeting. And about 30 seconds into the meeting, I said, "Oh, we're here to discuss Amway." He goes, "No, we're here to discuss international network marketing." Okay, good cover up. See, because Amway didn't have the greatest thing. But see, Amway will teach you that if you go out and get 6 people and they spend about $25 to join, which is nothing to spend to join a business that gives you the opportunity to make a lot. But if you go out and get 6 people and you help them do that, and they spend between $150 and $200 a month, and you help them 6 get 4 and they do the same thing, and you help them 4 get 2 and they do the same thing, you can make $1,800 a month. Guys, I got married in 1982. Hell, I don't even remember. But I got married way back in the early 80s. 83, because my son was born in 84 and my daughter 86. And $1,800 cash a month was a lot of money back then. And I would book meetings and I would book meetings and I would book meetings. And I go in and I talk 642, 642, 642. And all of a sudden one night I said, "Wait a minute. This is wrong." After the meeting was over, I said to the people that was still there, I said, this is wrong. And they said, what's the matter? And I said, well, if I go get 6, and the 6 that I get 4, and the 4 that they get 2, I can make $1,800 a month. But what am I teaching you to make? Because if you're only getting 4 and they're only getting 2, and you're not teaching anybody else to get anything else, in essence, what you're telling people, you got to go out and get 6, and they got to go out and get 6, and everybody has to go out and get 6. So it become a 666, and I started doing some messages. 642 comes to like 78 people. Spend $150 to $200. You get a point system. If they each make 100 points out of that $150, $200, you make $1,800. But I got thinking, wait a minute. If I go out and get 6, and they get 6, that's 36. And if they get 6, that's 216. No, yeah, 216. So it's 258. Wow, wait a minute now. We only needed $7,500 back then. Now, if they just go out and spend $50, and man, when I started promoting that, man, I was going crazy. But jealousy stepped in. The people that was above me, that was under me, that was making money, above me, I mean, my sponsor, my sponsor, and their sponsors that was making money off of everything I was doing, they said, well, how are you doing this? And a couple of the leaders showed up at a meeting one night, and I'm doing 666. And they turned me into Amway, and Amway kicked me out for not promoting the right program. Everybody that I had brought in, all the people, I brought in 200 or 300 people in a very, very short time. I had the fastest growing business in the company in a very short time. They kicked me out because I was not promoting it right. Every one of the people quit. It goes to show you how dishonest they are. As long as they can bring you in and they can make money off you, but they don't want it. They don't want you to all of a sudden go buy them instead. Even though I would have still been under them and making them money, I would have been making more money. And they get jealous, so they turned me in. They kicked me out of Amway. 6 months later, Amway went to 666 program. I made a mistake. I should have went and got that 666 promotion and taken care of, and everything would have been good, but I didn't. I was a kid. I was just married. Well, I guess I was about 30 years old at the time, but I've always considered myself a kid. I can do network marketing. I could do the same thing that Bruce is doing. I could do the same thing that Bob is doing. And I can't do the same thing as Sue's doing because I cannot lie to people. I cannot sell a program that's never been tested. I cannot come up, when them programs start to go dry, I cannot come up with another one. In case you guys haven't heard, Sue is now promoting a special program that she sells for the special beds. And you can ask, as my witness, you can ask Mary Ann. She was the one that brought it up to me. All she's doing is going out watching videos, looking at the videos, and putting a program together. She's acting like she knows it all. I mean, at least Sky Prince has met with people, and she says, and she knows what's going on. You can't do that. That's dishonest. And I told this story because I wanted to go into other stories here about the people. Be careful who you watch. Be careful who you listen to. There's a lot of people. Somebody come on the other night and says, a video, and we had a very big discussion in our Telegram page, and I was so proud of Dana 1111 and a couple of the other people who watched this video of this gentleman. He was on with the original Mark Z. Talk about someone who's made some money in this. He was on with the original Mark Z, and he stated, we will not be getting the phones when we go to the redemption centers. Now, we've been told now for a year and a half that we're going to get a phone at the redemption center. We was just told by how many different sources, including the Hat himself in a video, stating that everybody in the world that reaches a certain age point because he's not going to give them to 7-year, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, 10-year-old kids. But if you in a certain thing, and he did not say what it would be, everyone would get a phone. Everyone would have free internet worldwide. There is no such thing as anything long distance costing to text, to do video calls, nothing. And it was right after this was announced, I seen an article that Skype, the first in its industry to do the video calls. And I used to be an avid subscriber to Skype, but it was free. You could do things. There was a girl in the Philippines. We became such good friends that when all this happens, this girl is an unbelievable baker. I mean, she is great at this. When she makes something, it looks like it's just a picture there. They're so great looking. Me and Ron has actually talked about going to the Philippines and supporting her to start a franchise of these bakeries. But me and her used to talk on Skype once a day. We would video chat, sometimes twice a day, depending how she was going. She was going through a very bad marriage. I know what it's like to go through a very bad marriage. So I was kind of like counseling her. And we're still friends today. But now she's back on Facebook, and I don't like to go. I don't chat and stuff a lot on Facebook. So anyway, what I'm saying, guys, is these people, you got to beware. Dr. Scott Young on Mark Z, we're not getting them phones. Oh, and you're the final puzzle. I've seen the hat say we're getting them, but you know better. I don't know. You know, Mark Z said, well, I don't. And Mark did say something smart. He goes, well, what do you need to get them for? Everybody's going to get so much money they can go buy any phone they want. That's not the point. The point is these phones are supposed to be special just for all of us because of going to the new internet system, the new thing. We're supposed to get rid of all of these towers and not only make America great again, but make America beautiful again. You know, where I live in a farming community, it used to be a beautiful community. Man, you go out and you look out into the country and you could see for miles and miles on a clear day. Now all you see is these big towers up there. That is actually creating power for Chicago. We're 60 miles south of Chicago. It's actually creating power. And they were supposed to do a deal. But, they were supposed to do a deal that for us, the farmers in this community, to let them put them on their land. The farmers made some money. But to really sweeten the deal, they were going to go to all of the school districts within a 50-mile radius of where these were. And every one of the school districts, small school districts, they were going to buy every kid in there a laptop and allow money every year for the new kids coming in. When a kid graduated, he took his laptop with him. If something happened to his laptop, it was up to the parents to get them a new one. That's what was supposed to happen. It never did. You know why it never did? Because of the people in the school district, the people who's in charge. The money, you know how the bankers are? The money goes into their pocket, into an account where no one can trace it a lot better than it goes into buying these computers for these kids. That's the kind of world we're living in. And when Mark Z says, well, you're going to have so much money, why can't you do this? Guys, I go back a long, long way with Mark Z. I can remember watching him, and I can remember people sending him clothes because he was so poor that he couldn't afford decent clothes. And since he was coming on every day talking to us, giving us vital information, we all fell in love with Mark Z and his show. People would send him money and clothes. And now all of a sudden, Mark Z gets involved with an opportunity that he's promoting. Or you want to talk, you want to ask a question on the original Mark Z, you raise your hand if you get asked. You're going to hear the cha-ching button go off because he don't answer questions. I know I've went on at least 100 times since this happened. I've asked him at least 100 questions since this has happened. Not once. I even, a couple of times, I put in, Mark, I'm a fellow truther just like you. I do my own show. I give the name of our show. I'd really like to talk to you. But see, I wasn't cha-chinging his button, so I didn't get to talk to him. Guys, I just watched a short video today, and they say, beware of the people. I want to go back to the situation about the phones. I was so proud of the people talking and saying, hey, nobody really knows. And one person even says, we're not going to know until we get there. Myself personally, I don't care. Like they said, I'm going to have enough money to buy any phone I want, as many phones as I want. Especially if we get the free service, what does it matter? Heck, I'll put up enough money to buy everybody in our area whatever phone they want. I believe in cell phones for kids one way. They don't get to use the internet. I like them because they have a tracking device on them. So if something happens, Tony, was you asking to see my hat? Someone said, show me your hat. There it is. If it was me, he was asking. But, guys, like I said, I'm going on a roll tonight here because I don't have no information. But then in Bruce's show last night, Bruce is talking about the things that are changing, the things that are about to happen, that, the big wigs for the bonds are in the air flying to Reno. They're supposed to start getting things. Tonight, when the stock exchange closed, there was a chance we could get the things. I really don't know. I tell you, the only thing I'm disappointed with, not knowing and nothing happening, is that they keep saying it's happening. I'm tired of listening to the hat. I'm tired of listening to Elon. Elon's finding all of these trillions of dollars. But has anybody got any in their pocket yet? I haven't. John, Bobo, have you? Myrna, have you got any money in your pocket yet? Oh, there's a lot of trolls on here tonight. Well, that's par for the course, Myrna, because they're everywhere. I mean, my granddaughter asked if, she said, Papa, can I use your phone tonight she likes to go on and watch these little videos. I said, not tonight, baby. I'm having so much trouble. So it hurt me to tell my granddaughter no, but I think it's the first time I've ever said it. But I got pulled out because all of a sudden a friend of hers come over and wanted to play outside. I said, you know what? You can use it if you want. As she's going out the door, she said, no, that's okay. I knew she wasn't going to turn around because her friend was there. So I covered my rear end. But anyway, like I said, going to everything that's going on, guys, there is a lot of people coming out of the woodwork trying to make us feel bad. They got to me. I mean, when I did the show Wednesday, Ron actually ended up taking a nap for pretty much the whole show because he thought I was being very negative. I didn't think I was. I thought I was trying to tell the truth. But when I went back and listened to it, yeah, it did sound like negativity. And I did not want it to mean that way. I was just trying to show people what's going on. So, I mean, gasoline and egg prices down a little. Not here, Bill, not here. As I said, I've went since it's 10 days ago now that the hat made the statement. Within 10 days, there would be a drastic price in gas, like it was when he was running, in charge the first time. The 4 times I went, now I haven't went now since Wednesday, but the 4 times I went, gas was up in price every time. And then one of them made me mad because I'm supposed to get 15 cents off for being a part of their club. But has anybody got any money? And here's something about the money I wanted to discuss. Today I'm listening to Bruce, and Bruce makes a statement. He says, there's rumors. Oh, here it's 315 still, Bill. 315 with a dime off. So it's 325. But Bruce made the statement that checks have went out for he don't know if it's for the Social Security, if it's for the Doge, but checks have went out, and it's been reported they went out very good. But see, here's what I don't understand. If checks went out, they could go and put thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or millions of checks in a post box and mail them out. but they couldn't push little buttons and transfer money into Social Security people's accounts that would just go boom, go to it right like that. See, it doesn't make any sense, but it's always a cover-up. It's always, and I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. We have heard so many times that our leader, who we all love, and believe me, I tell someone every day how much we love him when I talk to her on social media. Wow, Golden Arrow 232. I think I moved to Kentucky. Hey, could almost be cheap enough for me to go down there and get it and come back. bring about, borrow somebody's pickup truck and take about 25 10-gallon cans down there, huh? I could come back here and sell it for $2.75 and make a fortune. See, you always got to laugh, you know. You laugh, you feel better, you look better, and that's what we got to do. You know, we can't let things keep getting to us. Someone looked at me today, and he says, "I have a question for you." I said, "Good. I'm hoping I can have an answer for you." And they said, "I want you to give me an honest, 100% true answer." I said, "Okay." They said, "Do you really believe this is all going to happen?" Someone sent something to my Telegram I didn't see, but I'll go to Telegram and look. "Do you really believe this is going to happen?" They asked me. I said, "If I didn't believe it was going to happen, would I be coming on 3 nights a week or 3 times a week? Would I have all these groups out there that we're constantly talking?" Yes, I 100% believe it's going to happen. And I 100% believe it's going to happen soon. How soon, I don't know, because the soonness comes in to when the people who are having too much fun decides to quit having too much fun. It will happen as soon as the people that's supposed to be looking out and making America great again realizes there's people out there homeless. There's people out there. But see, what scares me is we're getting through the cold weather now. We're getting through it. So now there's going to be people out there freezing because it's not going to be cold enough to freeze. They're just going to be miserable because they don't have a roof. You know, you take care of the kids. To me, you don't want to bring anything else out. Bring the beds out, because it doesn't matter how much money we get. If we're not around to spend it, it doesn't matter. But yes, 100%, 1,000%, I believe it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen, and I believe this group will eventually get a lot of credit. Now, I'm not saying so much me, but if people would ever go and be able to watch our videos and watch you guys chat and see the love and care that everyone in this group has for one another. You know, just the other day, Myrna, at night, Myrna goes and she posts, "Hey everyone, don't forget, it's Margaret's birthday today." I didn't forget, I didn't know. Ron calls me up and said, "Did you see what Myrna just posted?" I said, "No, why?" He said, "It's Margaret's birthday today." I said, "Okay." I got off the phone with Ron. Ron sends a big old emoji thing, you know, happy birthday to her website. I get off. I give her a call. I get her on a video call, and we start talking. I said, "I had to call and wish you a happy birthday. Why didn't you tell me?" She said, "I thought you knew." I said, "You haven't mentioned it." Believe it or not, I'm not psychic. Anybody who has a birthday, please let me know at least a week in advance. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Valerie. Tomorrow, happy birthday to you guys. Since we don't have a show tomorrow, everyone wish Valerie Haynes a very, very happy birthday. So we got some people on here. I haven't recognized some of the names. See, there we go, Valerie. See, and that's what I like to do, guys. You know, even if I don't do a show, if I know it's your birthday, I'll either send you an emoji with happy birthday, or I might do a video call with you. And, you know, I don't sing very well. Okay, Joe Phillips is May 15th. Joe, I'm 71 years old. Do you really think I'm going to remember May 15th? Okay. Do. Joe Phillips, birthday, one day after Brother Russ. Okay. You're one day after my brother Russ, Joe. If you don't mind, can I ask you how old you are? Look at this, Valerie, Missouri girl. Lady Anita.
It's a long time since we heard about Missouri girl.
Yeah, Missouri girl. Good to see you on here. Jeffrey, all these people wishing happy birthdays. So, let's see what else I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I had a lot of stuff tonight. The beds. Okay, I'm gonna kind of try to remember a few things on the beds. And most of it is just stuff that I guess I should write a class and sell it. No. The one thing I'm disappointed with money, we have a lot of people in this group that needs it. A lot of people that could use some extra money. And if I could turn back the hands of time, I would take a certain organization up on a deal, and it would have them got me 100,000 followers. These 100,000 followers would make sure sometime within a 24-hour span of us doing a show when they're on, that they would come in, they would like, and maybe make a comment or whatever. But they would show that they was on, so now they can turn around and say, oh, look at these advertisers. And I'm not saying it's this site here, because there was other sites that I used to be on too. But they look and they say, look at all these views this guy's getting. See, because if you have 100,000 people viewing your show that they're paying, you know, if you have that, you make a lot of money, because they're making a lot of money in advertising. And, you know, I usually do, it's not going to be tonight, but I usually do like an hour show. And if every 5 minutes or 10 minutes while you're viewing it after it's recorded already, they play two little commercials on products or whatever, companies, whatever it is, it's advertising. And then you can go back to the video after 5 seconds if you want. Or if you're interested, you can stay on it longer and get the information you really need. But if I do that, man, if I could have 10 to 12 commercials in an hour show, we could have made a lot of money. And I really wish if I could turn back the hands of time, I would have done something like that, because the people who's really in need of money, we could set up an account and send them whatever they needed to help them out. If it's for food, if it's to pay rent 1 month, to make sure people can work, you know, and that. I think our chat line is frozen because Joe Phillips is still up there, and that was, 5 minutes ago. He said his is May 15th. Haven't got nothing new. So I'm sure, Valerie, you're getting a lot more. Maybe you guys, maybe it's working for you. It might have just quit on mine, because there's a lot of strange things happening. But I want to talk a little bit about beds before I move on and call it a night, call it a week and whatever. I really believe that we could possibly have a show tomorrow or Sunday, because I really believe something's going to happen that we're going to need to talk about. I don't know what, but I just got that feeling something's going to happen this weekend. If I'm wrong, then I'll see you Monday. But just imagine, and since Joe Phillips and Margaret's name's up there, Missouri girl, Lady Anita, and Jeffrey, that's the only ones I can see. It's frozen to me now. But just imagine your leg hurts. You don't go in to the doctor and have to pay $20 just to see him, so they can write up a bill to your insurance and send to your insurance for literally looking at your leg for 5 minutes and saying, oh, let me give you this pill and the pain pills will help you. And they charge you an arm and a leg for the pain pills. You go in, you get it looked at. They put you on the bed. Boop, it's good. Instead of walking out of there, you're hopping, you're skipping, you're jumping. Happiness and joy. And this one here that I'm going to talk about, it touches me really tremendous because it was almost like it was real. But it touches me in a way because we've already lost his dad to this. And as everybody knows, my brother-in-law died about 15 or 16 months ago with cancer. People like Myrna and so many others give us ideas. Dandelion roots, the stuff for dogs, what's it called? Something that you give it, dog dewormer. And I've actually talked to a couple people that use the dog dewormer and they said it does work. All I was trying to do is keep my brother-in-law with us long enough to get him on to bed. As a matter of fact, my brother-in-law, the last thing he ever said to me before he passed away the next day was, thank you for trying. Thank Ron for me for trying. You was two people that was always there for me as I tried to be there for you. But he says, I'm not going to make them beds. But you always give me the hope that I would. You give my wife, your sister, ideas that could have helped. But for some reason, she chose not to use them. And we'll never know if they'd have helped or not. I'm not going to be here. I don't have to worry about living with that on my conscience. And I don't think she will either, because in her mind, she didn't believe it would work. So I don't ever say anything to my sister about that, because it's her husband. She made the decision and they lost. Okay. But what the story is, last night, I went to bed, I went to sleep, and I started a dream. And in my dream, I'm starting to cry like crazy. Because I just found out my nephew, his youngest son, my godson, had cancer. Period. I couldn't face him because I couldn't stand the thought of losing him. And this dream was so real. And Ron come up to me, he says, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. And I said, no. He just told me there's no hope. And Ron says, but Ralph, we have the magic beds. And I said, all right, you're right. And I went to get my phone to call Rob because he was over next door at my sister's. And I went and I said, no, you know what? I turned my phone on and there was a hat speaking that they had just released the beds, and he told areas that they were needed. And if you had a special person that needed them right away, contact this number and you'll get them in right away. And I contacted the number and I set up an appointment for my nephew. I walked to my sister's house and I said, hey, how long do you have? And he says, about 3 to 4 weeks. I said, no, you got about 100 to 200 years. And he looked at me and says, now you're being stupid. I said, wow, a man that's just about ready to save your life and you're telling me I'm stupid. I said, all I'm asking you to do is come with me. Give me 3 hours of your life right now. And if I'm wrong, I'll never bother you again. He got in my car, me, him, and Ron drove to the location. He was in and out in less than 2 hours, completely cancer-free. That's how much I believe in these beds. I'm a firm believer. I ask God, give me a clue of this is real. Give me a clue that this is going to happen. Now, my nephew does not have cancer. But boy, what a way to bring up something home to me to make my beliefs 100%. I don't have contacts like Sky or Wolverine or people like that, but I have the contact upstairs, and that's the most important contact I have. And I truthfully believe in these beds, 100%. But just imagine what it's going to be like. My brother Russ, a partner with me and Ron, he goes by Patriot4. He always wanted to be the first one, you know. He always wanted to be the best one. So we give him Patriot4, you know, because 4 is lower than, you know. He has diabetes. He has it under control. But yet, when I try to talk to him about these beds, he goes, I don't know about them. He doesn't know because, see, his eyes are closed. But what if I put him in the car, took him in, and boom, within a matter of minutes, he didn't have diabetes no more. We have a really, really good friend.
And he had hair again. Red hair.
Yeah. We have a really, really good friend. His name is Brett. When this guy was younger, in his teens and early 20s, you never seen a kid work out more. He was kind of a little geek when he was younger, so he didn't want to be a geek no more. And he worked out. He was muscular, but he wasn't one of these macho men muscular. It just, with his body style, it really worked good for him. Driving truck for UPS. And he got run off the road. Them UPS trucks are very, very flimsy. And when you get run off of a gravel road in the country, you don't have a whole lot of chance of saving an accident. He rolled it and he rolled it and he rolled it. He ended up losing an arm. The doctors told him the only reason he didn't lose his life was because he was in such good shape. For the last 25 years, this man has only had one arm. We call him One Arm Brett. But see, you can do that to him because he has such a sense of humor. But I looked at him a while back, and I looked at him, I said, Brett, he bought a building here in Buckingham. It used to be the old elevator where the workers were at, not the elevator that, you know, kept the coin and everything in, but the offices part. And he bought that and he turned it in to a weight room for his 3 boys, for himself. And even with one arm, he can lift more weight than most people can lift with 2, because he believes in himself. And I looked at him and I says, how do you think you're going to feel when someday in the near future, it might be a year, it might be 2, it might be 3, it might be 5. He said, what might be? I said, you're going to have your arm again. He says, no, there's nothing they can do. And I told him about the beds. And he went and researched the beds. And he looked me up one day when I was walking, because everybody knows I walk a lot. And I was out walking. And I walked by his building and he come running out. And he said, I researched what you told me. He said, they are real. And he said, I'm going to get my arm back. I said, yeah. He said, thank you. He said, you give me a major reason to keep going and to never give up. Guys, we're sitting on a powder keg here to help people. I was talking to some people the other day, and this old boy, he's starting the first stages of Alzheimer's. I said, we're going to get you on them beds and you'll never know. You'll never remember what Alzheimer's is. And he started to laugh. And he says, isn't that funny? You won't remember something because you never had it. And I said, yeah. People are open if you can get to them. If someone doesn't believe me, I says, okay. I'll make a list and I'll put you at the end of the list. So when it happens, I'll make sure you get on it, but you'll be one of the last ones. We hold the cards. I really don't have a whole lot more. I've talked a lot. I really don't know if I talked to anything that you guys was interested in. I don't even know if anybody's here because I can't see anybody chatting. It's frozen. But that's just another thing in the line of everything we're going through. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. And, you know, since we didn't have a real good show tonight, I might do one tomorrow in the afternoon or early evening. We'll see. Or Sunday. You know, I'm not going to be watching Big Ten tournament, so I kind of ruined my weekend. I love every one of you. So does Ron. I'm going to go get some supper now, and God bless you all, and we'll talk to you soon. Lots of love from Patriot 5 and Patriot 6.
only seen 4 people.